I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live. Paul, Galatians 2:20. But Christ lives in me. And what did Christ do? He submitted his will to the Father's to be one with the Father in will. That's not only purpose, that's action. When you're one in will, you're not only one in purpose and intention, but also in actual action. You obey. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live. If I lived today, I would have been an astrophysicist. I started astrophysics when I was 11 or 12 years old on my own. Yes, I did. By the time I was 16, I was in university. I turned down a scholarship to Boston University for physics. They contacted me. I was like some sort of super sports star in physics. And so they contacted me and offered me a scholarship. It's an Ivy League school. I didn't know much about it. I just knew it was in Boston, a big city, dirty city, far away from home. And I wanted to do astrophysics, not physics. So I turned that down to go to the University of Arizona, which had the largest collection of telescopes in the world. And it was a public university, unfortunately. But I went there. And they put me in the second year of the astrophysics program at 16. So if I had not given up my life to Christ, I would have continued on that track and been an astrophysicist. And there's nothing wrong with being an astrophysicist. But if I had done that, I wouldn't have given up my life. The other alternative is I would have been a musical. I would have had a musical career because I had been playing guitar and writing songs and playing in bands. Started playing guitar in 6th grade. Started writing songs in 9th grade and was performing at that point. So I was offered a contract for Columbia, I think it was. I can't remember now, but it was in Seattle that they scouted me out and found me and offered me a contract. My family was poor, and we were supposed to put some skin in the game, right? Which was normal at that time, and we didn't have any. We were poor, so I couldn't pursue that, which was good. That was God's will to stop me from that, and I did give that up to God. I actually had to give music up to Him a couple of times. If I had gone by my life, then I would have then, been a pastor in the church, a paid pastor. But my conscience got a hold of me. And the Holy Spirit convicted me over taking money. I never did take money, but taking money for those you minister to. And what did God do? I gave up my life, and He took it and put it where He wanted it to be. So I lost my life, but I gained it. Because He made me the thing that I least wanted to become, a business professional. If you were to ask me what profession would be the least desirable for me, I would have said business. Without even hesitating, I would have said business. And where does God put me? He puts me in business. And that's how I earn my way to do my ministry. I support myself. So this is how you lose your life and find it. You lose it on account of Jesus, not for other reasons. You lose it on account of Jesus. And that's exactly what happened with me. And I lost it on account of Jesus. And I found it. I lost my life on account of Jesus. And I found it. I lost my life on account of Jesus. And I found it. Now let's go on to our next passage to look at that. And that is Matthew 16. Let's get on over there. Right here in verse 24. We can see that Peter was rebuked by Christ just before this. Turning, he said to Peter, "Go behind me, Satan, you are an offense to me, for you do not think of the things of God, but the things of men." So again, we have this thing about what is governing your life, the things of God or the things of men. Verse 24, then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself." Let him deny himself, like deprive himself. "And let him bear his cross, and let him follow me. For whoever may desire to save his life will lose it. But whoever may lose his life for my sake will find it. For what will a man be benefited if he should gain the whole world, but forfeits his soul? Or what will a man give as an exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man is about to come with his angels in the glory of his Father. And then he will give reward to each according to his, not belief, actions. Truly I say to you, there are some standing here who in no way will taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Meaning even until. Not meaning they will die when they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. It's even until. So there were some that were walking as Enoch walked. That's what he's saying. That is an amazing goal to have, to walk as Enoch walked. For whoever may desire to save his life will lose it. If you desire to save your life, meaning save your life like you governing your life, you'll lose it. If you want to save your life so that God governs your life, you won't lose it, because that's losing your life. He's talking about governance of your life. Okay? Whoever may lose his life for my sake will find it. Whoever may lose his life for my sake will find it. And this wonderful phrase, for what will a man be benefited if he should gain the whole world? Not that you will, but let's say that you reach your highest achievement and you actually gain the entire world. But in the process, you forfeit your soul, because you will. That was the temptation of Christ by Satan in the desert, to give him all the kingdoms of the earth if he would bow down and worship Satan. And if he did that, he would lose his soul. Or what will a man give as an exchange for his soul? Because he will forfeit his soul. That's why he says that as the second part. Because he will forfeit his soul if he gains too much. And if he gets there, then what will he give in exchange for his soul? Anything that he has gained is worthless for his soul. You cannot buy your soul back with cars, houses, money, whatever, land, whatever else, businesses, fame, whatever else is there. There's nothing you can use to buy your soul back. All of your good works at church, all of your good works for the homeless and the poor, you can't use those to buy your soul back. If you have gone after gaining the whole world and you have kept your life and not given it up for Jesus, for his sake, even if you're doing spiritual things like things in the church or even miraculously spiritual things, if you have not given up the governance of your life to the Father in Jesus' name, you forfeit your soul. What are you going to give in exchange for that? Nothing. There's nothing you can give. You gave up that sacrifice. Because that was the purpose that Jesus died, was to reconcile you to God. And that was the purpose that Jesus met with the Father daily in his ministry to set an example for us that that is what we're supposed to do. Giving up the governance of our own will so that the Father governs our will by us taking his will on as ours, the Garden of Gethsemane. That is the seminal point of the core of the Christian walk on a daily basis. That is what this is talking about. Taking up your cross and following. Because that cup that Jesus drank from, he knew was going to set into motion a chain of events that were irreversible, that would take him to the cross. That's why he's saying that we must take up our cross and follow him. We must bear our cross and follow him. He's talking about the Garden of Gethsemane. Not my will, but your will be done. That's taking up our cross and following him. And that is the core of the Christian walk. And it cannot be done without humility. God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. And you were saved how? By grace. I guarantee that you had to have been humble at some point in order for God to give you that grace, because he refuses to give it to someone who is not humble. Either you humbled yourself or you were humbled, but in any case you were humble at that point when God gave you that grace and brought you into this way of salvation. And if you have not remained in that humility, then you have not remained in the grace of God. You have not been receiving the grace of God. And if you look and you say, why aren't I receiving the grace of God? Start there. Throw yourself on the floor in a private place where you won't be disturbed. Throw yourself literally on your face on the floor and confess that you're just a bag of dirt. Breathed in with life and the lights turned on. That your opinion doesn't matter. Your judgment doesn't matter at all. And that if God took you right then, it would be okay. So you have to humble yourself. Because if you want the grace of God, there is no other way. There is no other way. And you are either humble or you are proud. There is no other alternative. Everyone you look at through your day is either humble or proud. Humble or proud. No other option. And if they're proud, they cannot receive the grace of God. He refuses to give it to them. And if they're humble, they will receive the grace of God. But that Garden of Gethsemane is that pivotal point when you do get yourself to that point of humility, and then you can take on the will of God as yours, and he governs your life. He governs your will. And you are then bearing your cross, and then you can follow Jesus. That's what it means. May the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart. Remember to subscribe down below and like the video and share it on your Facebook and other social media. And then make a comment, whether a question or a comment. We read all of them and we try to respond to all. Get on over to our website, The Rooted Word, and start reading the translation and also the articles that we've posted. It's at therootedword.com, therootedword.com. And may the Lord bless you as you seek him with all your heart.